What's good, everyone? It's MJoe23Dan back with another video, and today's video I'm finally going to be able to do a review on the Air Jordan 14 Indiglo. So right off the bat, you can pretty much tell the size difference here. This is my original Air Jordan 14 in a size 10.5, and these right here are a size 15. Now these are for my good friend, the African Caesar. He has a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else you listen to your podcasts. The name of the podcast is called the Sneaker Box Podcast. I'll link it down in the description so you guys can check it out. But I'm going to be meeting the African Caesar on Saturday at SneakerCon, and I went to Nike yesterday and I saw a few pairs of these guys right here. There was like about 3 size 15s, but now the problem is when I picked them up, I didn't check the pairs and they're 2 right shoes. So unfortunately I have to go back and take that drive. It's about like a 45 to an hour drive and do an exchange, but he's already paid for the shoes. Just doing him a favor, and I really need to just so the retro is originally released on August 13, 2016 for a price tag of $190. At Nike they were marked down to $149 and then again for $99. This weekend is Friends and Family weekend. So everything in the store pretty much is 30% off if you're a member of Nike Plus and you got the coupon. So it actually brought it down to $69.99. And plus tax and everything like that, it comes out to like $75. So here's your retro and here's your original. Just to see the size difference there, I'm also going to place my forearm so you can see the difference. That's a big shoe, man. So surprisingly enough, before I, turned on the camera, I was, just doing a comparison on my own just to see, some of the differences, the similarities, and there's not too much difference. I think Jordan Brand remastered this shoe pretty much as close to the original as they could, and that's true. Other than like the slight differences of the shape, a little bit of the color, everything looks pretty much the same. So starting off on the back here, I'm going to note here that the back is pretty much similar other than the cut of this Achilles area right here. You'll see that slight slant of the green versus the retro. The Jumpman and the 23 and the rubber tire markings at the background are pretty much similar other than just like the type of paint used on the original. It's got a little bit of a speckle to it. As for the lining of the shoe, you have a lot more padding in the Air Jordan 14 Retro than the original. You still have the Jumpman right on the insole. So there's a slight difference of the finish on the midsole of the original. On the original, it's got that sticky, over time, pretty much the paint that is super toxic by today's standards. On the retro, they don't have that. It's a smooth finish. It doesn't have that gloss finish, and it's okay in my book. Here's the emblem of the original versus the emblem of the retro. Again, just a slight color difference. Here's the Jumpmans on the toe box area. This is the original and this is the retro. Just comparing the vent holes here, this is the original and then this is the retro. Pretty much the same. I was wondering about this aspect here where one vent hole would be bigger than the other, and even though the size 15 is a bigger shoe, it does look to be about the same type of opening. I expect that the retro is going to age pretty much in the same type of manner. There's a lot more tumble on the leather of the upper on the retro as compared to the original. Up until this point, they were still making quality shoes. Even the retros from 2000, 2001, they were still using great materials for the originals and the retros. But on the retro, the materials here are still great. I wouldn't mind actually finding a shoe in my size for this price point. The bottoms, it's pretty much the same. The colors is just going to be slightly different, also due to age. And there isn't much change here with the outsole. So again, Jordan Brand did an excellent job with this. And lastly, I wanted to discuss the height of the tongue here. So on the retros, it's going to be super high. I've noticed that with a lot of the retro 14s that they've done over the years. And then the OGs, they don't stand as high as they do. So something about the retro that, I don't particularly like with that high tongue. I kind of just want something that flows better with the overall look of the shoe. Also, again, the Retro 14 will have that bendable plastic piece up here by the tongue, and then on the original, and you'll know it's an original is if it's a hard plastic and it doesn't bend. So again, it's MJO23 Dan. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support. In my opinion, the retro matches up to the original pretty well. My hope is that Jordan Brand continues with consistency instead of inconsistencies when creating their products, so that OG guys like me can appreciate the shoes once again. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, hit me with a big thumbs up, and I'll